My loves, good afternoon. Welcome to Maverick Baking and welcome to another chocolate review. More excitingly, a craft chocolate review. Today, if you will excuse the freshly brushed hair that's giving a little bit too much Robert Plant, or at least more than I planned for. Anyway, we're going to be talking about a company that I have never tried anything from before. They were recently brought to my attention while I was hunting down my much beloved Omnom for myself and for a friend. If you're not aware, they're an Icelandic brand. And I came across another brand from one of the most northern countries on the planet that I just couldn't stop myself from picking something up from. We're talking about Goodio. Goodio is a company making completely vegan, bean-to-bar craft chocolate in Finland. We're going to be trying 3 of their bars in today's video, 2 of which are super seasonal that I just could not resist picking up, and 1 classic one. We're going to be trying their kind of classic 71% dark chocolate. Always good to try when it comes to craft chocolate. You want to try the originals. And we're also going to be trying a very kind of November appropriate pumpkin spice. Halloween may be past, but Thanksgiving's still on the way, so it's somewhat still relevant. Someone's eating pumpkin pie somewhere. And we're also going to be trying a more seasonally appropriate winter glow. This actually has crystals of mulled wine in the chocolate, and I am salivating, so let's get into it. We're going to be trying all 3 of these in today's review, but first I want to get stuck into the classic, the dark. From this, we can expect organic dark chocolate with just 3 ingredients: cocoa beans, coconut sugar, cocoa butter. That's it. Obviously, in my time, I've eaten a lot of 70% dark chocolate. Not all of them have so kind of few ingredients. Not all of them are sweetened with coconut sugar. So I'm interested to see how the texture is going to be when it's this minimal, and if that coconut sugar is going to add any distinctive flavor. One thing, as always, or mostly is the case with craft chocolate, the packaging is to die for. It's one you could even keep. I know a lot of kind of chocolate lovers like to keep the packaging on their more special bars for afterwards, and this is one you definitely could. It's a decent quality kind of card packaging, little branded sticker. And on the inside, though I am usually a sucker for all things gold foil, we have a lovely little inviting kind of matte black packaging here. I feel like it's like tattoo equipment or something. Opening up, we can see that chocolate is damn near as dark as the packaging that's inside of it. And there's a beautiful smell in there. I feel like I can smell that kind of coconut sugar in there though. Taking it out, you can see we have this gorgeous, hopefully one that will agree with the lighting, shiny, gorgeously tempered little slab of chocolate. Perfect little square, lovely pattern on there. My favorite part. Let's see how this Goodio dark chocolate is. Or should I say how Goodio it is. Normally when you're tasting dark chocolate, the flavor potential is presented to you in a kind of wheel. Some companies even kind of share where upon this tasting wheel or this tasting spectrum their specific bars and flavors fall within. And on there you'll typically have, for example, nutty, fruity, roasted, things like that. This one, I feel like any kind of measurement would fall immediately into coffee. It's almost the first thing I taste here. It's a gorgeously smooth tasting bite of like freshly ground coffee. That's what this tastes like to me. Also kind of accentuated by that kind of brown sugar, coconut sugar flavor that's in there. It tastes like something you'd be delighted to have first thing in the morning. Refreshing, rich but not too bitter, not too aggressive. You know, it doesn't have any kind of roughness to it. The texture, I'll admit, maybe because of the sugar content, maybe because of the way it's processed, physically and texturally speaking, it's not the smoothest dark chocolate I've ever had, but it's pretty bloody smooth and very easy to eat. This would be no problem devouring the whole thing in one go. At 71%, I know a lot of people can kind of look at a chocolate bar and think, no, too bitter, too strong. And of course, that is the case. Some people just don't like dark chocolate the same way some people don't like beer or coffee either. But this, as dark chocolate goes, she's smooth and she's very easy to eat. It's simple, it's classic, it's complex, yet it's very kind of easy to eat. If you love coffee, you're gonna love this, even though it's nothing related to coffee. Just on my palate, it tastes like freshly ground coffee. This to me is a solid basis to work from, and it's a very happy 4 out of 5. Shall we move on to the flavors that hauled me in like a hungry little fish? We are going to get into this pumpkin spice now. So this is a 49% cocoa, still not a milk chocolate, but a very, very, very gentle, subtle, just, you know, barely there dark chocolate really. So this is again made with the same Peruvian cocoa as the other bar, but it also contains coconut flakes, ginger, cardamom, clove, and nutmeg. No actual pumpkin in there, but that's not surprising. Many pumpkin spice things are basically just gingerbread. And we can see the packaging is slightly different, same kind of card envelope, but opens in a slightly different way. So I'm expecting this not necessarily to be sweeter, but certainly to be less bold in its flavor. And let's see how those spices work with that chocolate. It's not a flavor combination everyone likes. Cinnamon with chocolate can be a little bit divisive, just like cinnamon with coffee. Oh, it smells good though. You can see it's a little bit kind of lighter than the other bar, though in terms of design and pattern and lovely shine and also lovely snap, it's very similar. But let's see how pumpkin spicy this pumpkin spice chocolate is. You get chocolate, you get spices, but you also get a lot of that coconut. I'm guessing the coconut is added for both the kind of creamy texture and the creamy flavor that milk or any kind of like milk alternative would add to make it less of a dark chocolate. I would say it's pretty overpowering here. You still get that gorgeous kind of coffee-like flavor from the dark chocolate, not bitter whatsoever. You do definitely get those spices lingering from the kind of cinnamon and from the ginger especially. But I must say the coconut is kind of punching its way through every other flavor. I love coconut, so that's no problem for me. However, if you asked me to taste this and tell you what it was, I wouldn't necessarily say pumpkin spice. It tastes like coconut, cinnamon, and chocolate in a bar. Delicious, absolutely. Not really nailing the kind of pumpkin spice vibe, in my opinion. Is it delicious? Absolutely. Would I ram this whole bar in my mouth in one go? Also, absolutely. Very, very tasty, everything balanced, but the coconut is definitely making its presence known, which if you're a coconut lover, fabulous. Or if if you're somewhat neutral to coconut, also no problem. However, if you're looking for pumpkin spice and you're just finding coconut spice, it might not be for everyone. I'm very happy with the taste and with the texture. Again, it's beautifully smooth for a kind of delicate dark chocolate that doesn't contain any milk. I've definitely had much grainier, much chalkier, much worse, basically, all things considered. And the taste, for the most part, delicious. Only real criticism being that coconut. I would give this pumpkin spice bar also a 4 out of 5. Moving on to the bar that has intrigued me the most of all of the ones I saw from Goodio. This is their Winter Glow, also a 49% cocoa bar. This is chocolate topped with mulled wine crystals. Now, red wine and chocolate are a classic pairing, just like red wine and cheese. However, you very rarely see them together. From this one, we can expect the same kind of main 3 ingredients being the cocoa, the coconut sugar, the cocoa butter, followed also by coconut flakes, guessing again for texture and that kind of smoothness, hoping it doesn't override the flavor though. Followed by birch sugar, cinnamon, cardamom, bitter orange peel, cranberry powder, ginger, and clove. So much like the pumpkin spice not having the pumpkin, this doesn't actually seem to contain any wine. It's probably just going to give the kind of cozy spiced flavor of mulled wine. Let's see what we're working with here though. Are the crystals going to be the whole way through? It says it's topped with them, so it'll be interesting to see how much of them we can see as we open this up. Ooh, okay. When we take it out, we have the same kind of design on the front, but on the back, I don't know how much you'll be able to see this. It almost looks like that pink Himalayan salt. It's giving a very kind of similar smell to the pumpkin spice one. And those little kind of crystallized pinkish things are where I'm guessing our flavor is going to come from. Let's see how it is though. Good, but almost entirely missed the brief, is how I would summarize this. The chocolate is almost identical to that of the pumpkin spice bar in that you get that kind of freshly ground coffee flavour, delicious. You get that lovely smooth texture. You get an undeniable flavour and texture from coconut. Again, as a coconut lover, no problem. However, does it taste or bring out any kind of vibes of mulled wine? No. The flavour from the spices, that kind of spice blend, is almost exactly the same as the one from the pumpkin spice bar. The only real difference in this one being there is the most subtle, tiny of orange peel flavour in there. A little bit of orange zest, a little bit of orange oil kind of taste. That's it though. Sadly, that's it. There's the only other kind of different ingredient here is there's cranberry powder and birch sugar. Now, seeing cranberry powder, I'm guessing that, you know, it's what would be to add both the colour and maybe that kind of acidic flavour from red wine. You don't really get it. Unless you come across, you know, for example, maybe this one big piece of the mulled wine crystals, it's just not really there. Obviously, the crystals aren't there to overpower the chocolate, they're just there to add something to it. But sadly, it's not giving mulled wine. Mulled wine is delicious, it's bold, it's an undeniable kind of flavour. This is kind of missing that. If you were to taste this blind, you wouldn't know that was mulled wine. If you were to taste the pumpkin spice blind, as I said, you wouldn't know it was pumpkin spice, but you would know it was supposed to be spiced something. This tastes almost exactly the same, if I'm being completely honest. The slightest bit of difference thanks to the tiny fruity note from the orange. That's it. Is it still delicious? Oh my God, absolutely. Would I be happy to devour it? And will I be happily devouring it? Yes. However, it's not hitting mulled wine. Winter Glow is a good name. I'll give them that. It's not called mulled wine. If the bar was called mulled wine, it would be completely missing it. Mulled wine crystals, If they had a little bit of red wine in there, maybe chemically speaking, it's not that easy to do, or maybe it overrides the chocolate, maybe it's too acidic. I don't know why they haven't decided to include actual red wine in there. However, it does taste wintry. It does taste deliciously Christmassy. It's a good chocolate bar. Very impressive that it's vegan to have both that flavour and that texture. However, those mulled wine crystals could have done more than they're doing. So I'll give this one a 3 out of 5. Very interesting one today from Goodio. Now, these obviously may not be the best examples of the brand's products. However, they're probably the ones they're going to be selling the most of this season, and they're the ones that they're using to hook people in over the kind of big spending season. The dark chocolate, delicious, absolutely up my street kind of flavors in terms of dark chocolate. However, these two admittedly could do a little bit more so this one than this one in terms of being what they're advertising. Nonetheless, delicious, smooth, a joy to eat. Do let me know if you guys have ever tried Goodio chocolate before. I'm certainly happy enough and intrigued enough to want to try more from this brand, so to know that I can get them imported here to Italy, fabulous. Definitely happy to explore the other kind of flavours they have on offer. However, could have done a tiny bit better, in my humble opinion. But I'm afraid that is all I have time for today, guys. Thank you so much as always for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as always, and I will see you for the next one.